How did I get muted? Mr. Mac, what's up? Can you hear me?
Man, what is the deal, pickle? Is
Everything's
everything
kosher.
kosher? Everything's
Everything's
kosher.
kosher.
Man, what is going on, man? Look at y'all, brothers. Looking like y'all looking. Y'all looking like y'all about to say some shit. Oh, he
Oh
got the
man,
cup. He got the
Hey
cup.
Mac,
Oh,
hey
say
Mac,
man, what's
Mac,
good?
what to do, man? What the word
I
is?
know Chuck been waiting on this. He been waiting on this since I sent him the picture.
Hey, hold on. Let me
Oh
highlight this,
man,
man. Go and do your mental health minute and give me some of that.
Some of that. So the mental health minute for today is, guess what? Faith without work is dead. So we got to put the work in. We got a lot of things that's happening right now, especially coming up for November 5th for the election. If we want to see things change in our community, we want to see things change in the political process, policy, laws, we have to put the work in. Yes, pray, pray till you have a great idea and a great understanding. And but also we got to put the work in to make sure that we show up and show out, beat down the streets, knock on doors, do whatever we got to do to make sure that we bring the people out to cast that ballot. So faith without work is dead. You can pray till
Amen.
you pass out, but if you don't put no plan together, you ain't gonna get nothing done.
Come on.
Amen.
Amen.
Come on.
And big shout out to the Onk.
You too.
Big shout out to who's that hiding behind us?
I mean, these motherfuckers.
That's
There you go.
GP and Jake, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to
There
these
you go.
guys who's supposed to be in bed. Got a
Yeah.
great flag football season.
Look,
Yep.
Good job, fellas.
Man,
good
go to bed.
job.
Bro, you not ashy.
Advance to the semifinals.
Is Jackson ashy? I don't think he's ashy. He actually put on lotion. Great.
Did he leave or is he? No, there you go. He finally.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, that's the one you gotta watch, Chuck. That's the one right there. That Action
Yes,
Jackson.
sir. Yes, sir. 100% got to watch Action Jackson. But Matt, how do you get the Shayla Portier, man?
Hey man.
Tell me.
So when Jay went to Atlanta for the WNBA game, they found a liquor store up there, and she's been hiding it and holding it ever since. And she brought it out yesterday. Was no day before yesterday. So
Man,
so
that's
yeah,
what's
man.
up.
Hey
Man,
man, listen, I
that's
was
what's
like,
up. That's for sure.
hey, this is good drinking liquor. As they say in the westerns, good drinking whiskey. This is something that good.
Good drinking liquor.
And see, she
Yeah, man.
like
Is
a
is
woman
it
from
actually
Peoria,
good, man?
Illinois would. I had to represent for Peoria right there
There you
in
go. There you go.
J2.
Look,
Yeah.
hey, don't upset them, Chuck. Don't make sure when you pronounce the word Illinois, you do not use the S.
Yeah, it's
That
no
that don't use the
I
S.
know
They get
I
Illinois.
upset.
know that.
I know that.
and
Yeah.
the new
And
abbreviation is just IL for all the people to put ILL. It's no longer the 80s.
I
We progressed.
I'm not even sure who really saying Illinois. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
that's
It's a lot of
bananas,
people
bro.
that do
I
it.
would tell you just out of sheer laziness. I think I just said Illinois, not even really knowing, but I'm just saying that like the extra S just seemed like a lot on the like
That's a
Illinois.
lot, man.
That's a lot.
That's a
So I
lot.
just
Look,
felt like
look,
I would
Jay.
just say Illinois in general.
Right. Look, still about
Yeah.
309. Look, Tyson.
I don't
What'd you
think
say?
anybody's ever seen that
Yeah, 309,
area
area code
code.
309.
Nobody's ever seen
That's
that.
your area code,
Everybody's seen that
Tyson?
area code. What are you talking about?
What area
No.
code is
Hey,
309?
That's world famous.
Ludacris did not say that.
called I know
In
all the area
area
codes,
code.
and it wasn't
Tyson
309.
is really
Ludacris
confused.
is from 217, so Ludacris is from Champaign, Illinois. So I know that
Correct.
Ludacris knows about Peoria, Illinois. If we
Oh,
really want to get into detail with that,
Oh
and if we
shit.
want to talk about
hey,
a little bit more,
Oh shit.
309 is also known for Richard
oh
Pryor.
man.
So we talk about Richard Pryor, and the world knows Richard Pryor, so the world knows 309.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily like,
Man,
I
I know
like lump the
369.
two together, kids. I know Richard Pryor,
Damn,
I
she
know
fine.
309. So I mean, that's for sure. So
369. Damn, she fine.
That's what I know.
Hey man.
713. What you gonna do?
Look,
hey,
Chuck,
a
Chuck,
lot of
what is the groove, Chuck? What is the groove? Because we go, I see where this
Well,
is going.
I still
so
got
look,
601 number. That's all that matters.
whatever Tyson said, sure. All right.
hey,
The groove is this, man. We've got this this tour, and it was something that we worked on months ago,
Mhm.
and things are now in motion. It is something that we have been working like around the clock nonstop. People have been traveling. We've been on the phone. We've been in multiple text threads.
a couple of fights about to happen, that's for sure. I know CJ the other day, man, he got I thought CJ about to strangle me from the back of the car. He's like, y'all want me to get live? Yo, you don't want me to
Hey,
get. I'm like,
hey, man. Hey,
See,
they didn't know I could
CJ,
turn up, Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
CJ
I just be
fighting.
I
Chuck,
said, look,
when
y'all, hey,
when
Ty
has that
was
ever
like,
happened?
Ty was
CJ
like, Ty
I
fighting.
was
don't
like,
know. I don't know, man. Hey, I left them days behind me, dog.
Look,
Ty
look,
said,
man. So the thing that we want to bring to everybody's attention, you saw it on our overlay today. We're talking Unbot and Unbought, a Black with No Chaser tour and podcast. So I definitely want to that's been the groove. That's all we've been working on, right? And it's all about making sure that we know who the bots are,
Mhm.
and so we can differentiate between the good information and the bad information. But then you got some folks that are out there, they're paid.
Yes.
So we got to know who the folks that have been
boss.
bought,
Influences.
influencers, and the folks that are out here like for real, keeping it real. So so CJ, Cirillo, Tyson, Mac, we all do this work year round. Like we always say here, election season is year round, right?
Absolutely.
So CJ, give us like an intro to how we arrive at Unbot and Unbought, and then we'll go around the horn and get Rillo and TY up in here.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, bro, thank y'all for having us back on Nightcap. You know what I'm saying? It's always beautiful to be in the room with y'all one more time. You know what I mean? Whether it's virtually or in real life,
There you go.
it's love, baby. And with that being said, man, it's great to see Black men who we know are socially and civically engaged, fellowshipping in the way that we do. We know how passionate we are about our community, how passionate we are about our people,
Right.
and how plugged in we are politically. And with that being said, man, as you spoke to, man, this is something that we've been working on since May, and I'm gonna definitely let Real and TY really speak to the concept. But man, literally, we were trying to figure out how to speak, not preach, particularly to Black men, as it relates to what was going on with this election and why it's so imperative to be involved, not only in this election, but overall, man, because we know that as far as voter turnout in the last election, I think it was about 58 to 60% of Black voters who were registered turned out in the last election, and then Black women who were registered voters voted to the tune of about 64%, with Black men voting at a percentage of about 54 to 55%, according to Pew Research. And so, understanding those things, we understood that we make a significant difference in the outcome of the process. And so, the goal of the Unbot and Unbought tour is we've seen misinformation happening in a number of ways, and this time around, we really see it happening by Black folk in our community platforming the ops, man. They platforming the ops,
Right.
bro. Ain't no other way to say it. Platforming the ops and being the ops, they damn self by a lot of times being digital blackface.
Mhm.
And so that being said, man, I just wanted to kind of lay that down before heading out to Real and TY to really lay out what does that mean to be unbought.
I mean, honestly, man, I think y'all kind of like really said it. I don't really beat a dead horse. I know one thing that we're gonna be really adding to is that our goal is to kind of, have some time on podcasts, man, talk more generally about things. But being these battleground states where, like the election may literally decide on 30,000 votes, right? I think that sometimes people think that their vote doesn't count. I know we hear this every election cycle, that your vote does in fact matter. A lot of brothers are disillusioned and disenchanted, but I don't even think sometimes it's really is really because they're getting style information. I think that because of the bots out there and the people that are bought, adding to the misinformation and kind of not allowing the real good news of what's happening. Because let's be honest here, man, most Black folks vote Democrat. And so when a Democrat is in office and you got a lot of people out there spewing lies about what's really happened within the administration. For example, this time around the Biden administration, there was many wins, right? For the Biden administration, for Black people, for Americans in general. But the issue is that when you got folks out there literally have a campaign that don't stand on anything but lies, like literally, like there was a report that came out about the Trump campaign and just Republicans in general, and the far right folks that are just like, what they do is they go on these type of like podcasts or like have their own media YouTube channel, and they literally just lie and lie.
What you say, CJ?
They go on Joe Budden.
They go on Joe Budden.
They be going on Joe Budden.
And we're going to talk about that too, though, man. I think it's important to note that like the Onyx report, the impact report just came out about the web of disinformation and how it kind of trickled down from some of these big gateway influencer platforms, right? For allowing, and by the way, though, these gateway influencer platforms are not the bad actors, right? The gateway is just a gateway of giving them a platform. So
right.
with the kind of Onyx impact report, and I don't know if it's going to be just today, but also as we kind of transition over to the Unbot and Unbought portion of the podcast, man, and is I think that unpacking really how there's only like 5 or 6 massive gateway influencers that's in Black media, right? And that those alone with a bunch of the other misinformation, far right people and revisionists and so on and so forth, they amassed almost 40.6 million people being touched, right? And that's a good segment of the population. And if you do that enough over 4 years and say that they're not doing anything for you, and you begin to kind of grab hold of information thinking that's actually the truth, then I mean, like it's not, you can't blame folk for being disillusioned, right? Or being feeling like they left out the political process. Now, that doesn't mean that the damn Democratic Party or politicians in general shouldn't be doing more for our communities. I think that it's being done. It's just that it's not being reported. And if it is being reported, it's being caught up in the white noise, a web of lies and disinformation and misinformation. And I think that what we want to do with this campaign, which I know we want to do, is really try to kind of come at this from a raw and unfiltered kind of conversations with Black men on the ground that can kind of like cut through some of the lies and what we've been hearing. And so, man, honestly, like if y'all listen to this, y'all make sure y'all tapping in, man. If look, y'all will be in Philly soon, Detroit pretty soon, North Carolina, y'all look out, man, and back in Philly at some point as well. But look, we're looking forward to hitting the road and getting to it.
Nigga, what am I supposed to say now?
Say whatever you want.
Next time I'm going first. Don't have me go behind CJ and Rillo. These motherfuckers have a whole damn narrative and monologue. We supposed to just introduce the show.
No, we did.
God dang. Look.
All right,
so
ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all
know,
tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. This has been Nightcap Knowledge. But
what we do know is it's intentional. We do know that very much of what's happening right now is intentional, and it's a part of history. This is the same thing that they're doing. This is not a new playbook. They run the same plays over and over and over again. It's nothing new. It just got technology wrapped around it now. Now they figured out some new tools in which they can use in order to do the same plays. So as we get out here and get a chance to talk to Black men around the country, I think it's important as well too, as we have these conversations with them, to give them a little bit of this knowledge, to give them some education, shed some light on some facts that we know, the historical things that are there. And I think that right now, as everything y'all said here and what we know, we see it's happening on the web, it's just a whole bunch of lies. It's a whole bunch of revisionist history going on.
And revisionist, by the way, y'all, you want to kind of because I had to look up what the hell a revisionist is. Because, like, you know, sometimes, like, you know how you don't live in that space of trying to rewrite history. So you don't even think about certain words. I just like, I was a new term for me. I looked at the damn Honest Impact Report. It was like, man, they got the revisionist is part of the key impact factors, right? And I was like, I had to look it up. I said, oh, that's right. They rewrite history.
I tell you this, shout out to Mr. Figures over there, One Voice. He will tell us very quickly about what revisionist history is. He'll tell us all the way in that voice, very deep of what we see. Because we seen this in Mississippi, right? This is exactly what they have done. They tried to take the books and rewrite what civil rights were and rewrite the civil rights history and say this happened over this happened. Try to take all this stuff, whitewash it, and present it back to us. And the bad thing about it is, and you know, as we seeing right now in our society with our young folks, is that they are the product of this misinformation. For us, and when we were growing up, for our parents, when they were growing up, we got hand-me-down books. They tore pages out the books, so we didn't get the full information, right? Then when we get to our generation and the ones younger than us, they just rewrite the book and then put fake news all through it, and then they give it to us. So same thing, same play, same thing going on.
So I also need to make sure that we pay homage to Shirley. Okay. Because Unbot and Unbought is definitely
in the spirit of Shirley.
In the spirit of Shirley.
Yes, for sure.
Shirley Chisholm ran for president, right? And had the campaign slogan, Unbought and Unbossed.
Yeah.
And one of McRae's favorite hoodies that he got from Because of Them We Can out of the box. That's one of his favorite little hoodies. So I think, man, we got to have some merch.
Yes, we do.
Gotta have some merch.
I gotta have some merch.
Man, we definitely got to.
I mean, Chuck, bro, you know, look, man, you know, I know you're a busy brother. So
hey, we've already discussed it. Bart has got us a plan of action. Shout out to Bart for getting that plan of action together. So don't y'all merch shame me on my show, because I will put y'all out of here.
I personally, we all wearing your merch right now. I was gonna just say that, you know, earlier when we were talking, bro, I was like, hey man, I'm just trying to look out for Chuck and the production team, man. I want to make sure that, you know, these folk are kept in mind for their time and realize we're trying to provide the best product possible. So I really was just really trying to say here is that I see you, brother, and I don't want you under the gun trying to make this merch when we got bigger fish.
I just want to give a shout out to that flannel that you wearing right there too. Look, when I wear my flannel, I get stopped every single time somebody's going to ask about it. They can't see the back of it, Chuck. I don't know if you could do that turn around so they can see that back.
Can you see the back? Hold on. That was crazy. Hold on. That was crazy. That man said turn around so they can see that back. That was wild. That was crazy. Hey.
We got to do that, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, boy. Hey, so far we got the pause of the night, man. We got TY and the pause of the night.
How you was, hey.
That was nasty work, boy. Hey, turn around, let me see that back.
There it is.
That's nasty work.
Hey.
Oh man. I can't believe this dude said this, man. This is on Beyonce's internet right now. TY just said that. That's crazy.
Hey man, it's a viral moment.
It's a new day though. It's a new day. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, one thing I really want to say about what we discovered is, bro, we care. Like, by we I mean black men.
Yeah,
we give a damn, and I don't think it's understated when we said earlier that 80% of black men, 80% of black folk, overall, I believe 80 to 90% voted Democrat in the last election. I don't think it's really that we voted Democrat as much as we voted in our own best interest,
right,
or what we perceive to be, because we know what our interests are. And so we vote in alignment with those interests. And I think it's really important that we kind of draw some distinction and nuance there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we understand that you're not going to, most times, you're not going to both have a viable candidate and a perfect candidate with regards to how they align with the way you see the world. So with that being said, you ultimately have to begin to make the decision on what things matter to me, individually, what things matter to me as far as how it impacts my community. And so those are things that I think that we're taking into consideration. Mac, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mac, quiet down there, brother.
Shout out to our brother Sabir. Sabir right here, one of our co-founders for Mississippi Move. Sabir says the problem with being black voices in a conservative environment is that immediately the less melanated or unmelanated step back and let you have the stage, and you become the minstrel showed.
Yep.
World book encyclopedia for the modern black diaspora.
That's right. That's what you see with Candace Owens. That's what you see with so many other
you know what, bro? I almost want to call out some of these people, man, and we're gonna do more of this for real, but I'm really sick of them, dog. Like, you ever get tired of seeing people just be lying? And like, I'll be like, damn, man, who hurt you, man? Like, I'm serious. Like you just I don't know how you wake up every day knowing you're just a walking fucking lie. I'm sorry. You're a walking lie. This.
What's going on? This black with no chaser still.
Black with no chaser, bro.
I know.
Mac,
I'm trying not
to give Cirillo the disclaimer.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This show is rated black and uncensored. Real talk, real issues, with real solutions. We're gonna tell it like a T.I. motherfucking is. All right, back to the show.
That is, dog.
It is, man. What's in the house, man? How y'all doing?
But what you guys, what you just said earlier, like, this is not nothing new. One thing about us, you don't give attention to the antagonist. Stick to your show, stick to your script, stick to what you're doing. Stop, don't give them attention, because they want the attention. This is like the crying or the chicken, the Chicken Little, who talking about the sky's falling. They want folks to pay attention to them. And while paying attention to them and addressing them, you're doing what they want. Stick to your message, stick to your script, because they've been doing this forever, right? Before, when they always done the changing of the messaging one of my fraternity brothers told me, but his child went to school in Ridgeland, right? That our people came from Africa to America because they needed jobs,
What?
not because they was enslaved, because they needed jobs. So when you start
They got,
talking about,
So that would be
That-
so
that's
that would be
revisionist history.
that revisionist history. See,
Continent in
now
the world.
That's revisionist history.
but
I
it's
Got
love
the
when
most
we get a good
resourceful
people
continent
who
in the
circle
world, and we
around
came
moments.
to America because we wanted jobs.
but see, I only like using the because you just tell you tell a goddamn lie. Don't
Yeah.
dress it up. Don't put
Yeah,
lipstick
don't
on a
dress it up.
pig. Just tell it
Hey,
what it is, right? It's this is the shit that they've been constantly doing the same way they and it's nothing new to us. Understand how did they take out Malcolm X, right? He knew because they infiltrated, right? They always done that, and that's what he said. You cannot stop them from infiltrating. Only thing you can do is try to surround them to make sure that you can hinder or slow down what they're trying to do. That means it's got to be more of us involved because you always gonna have the mold that they train folks to be undercover and be there for 3 years to do
bro,
everything
it's
that's
a
going
it's a
on.
lot of it's a lot of booty clapping going on by these motherfucking fake ass conservative
So,
motherfuckers for these dollars,
oh
dog.
man,
That's available.
they got the money.
I'm talking about it's a lot of political twerking taking place right
Hey,
now.
Oh,
With
hey,
all
hey,
due respect,
do we have?
I'm
Is there?
serious, nigga. Hey,
Can we pull up a political twerking video? I would love to see
I'm
like
for
what's
real,
that?
man. No, I
A
mean, like,
political
it's
twerk.
some people that have made a
I
careers
imagine
out
it's
of it.
like
You know what I mean?
Marjorie
Hey,
Taylor
but you know what would be good though? You get like a dressed up artist, whatever figure, right? And you got like a little almost like puppet type deal. You just got a white arm
All
that
up
just
that ass.
and the
all
only
it.
thing you see is the rest of him on stage talking, right?
Yeah,
That's what we have, right?
I bet that's the
Um,
first time that's been said on Nightcap Knowledge. hey, hey,
look,
bro. Hey,
we got plenty of firsts.
Hey man, I tell you what, man, we got some,
flagged tonight, guys.
boy. We get flagged, boy. I tell you
the
what, they gonna shut this
27-minute
bitch down.
mark,
They
CJ
gonna,
said
hey,
that.
hey, I just heard a guy that Cameron and Mace never really get a hold of this one right here because they gonna get
hey,
caught, man. That
hey,
was
if they
crazy
do
too.
it, hey, if they
They
do
never get a
Unbot and
hold of this
Unbought,
one. That was
viral
crazy
after
too.
that, bro.
Viral.
You
What
know
you
what I'm
say,
saying?
Matt?
Huh? I don't know what y'all talking about. I was Chuck, I'm watching the
What?
new GMC commercial. We'll talk about that
Oh my
later.
goodness, bro.
I thought you was over there having
My
Bible
bad,
study.
man. My bad, bro. Hey,
Hey,
listen, man. I ain't trying to get y'all kicked off, man.
hey man,
I'm just
listen. You got to tell it like it is, bro. That's the thing about it
yeah,
that you can put any type of other bullshit on there, circulate it. We click on it, constantly watch it, and it destroys your brain. But when you tell the truth, because we don't like how it comes out, they want to
right,
flag you, right? So
right,
regardless of what words we say, they don't give a damn if we curse or
But
not. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's because you tell them the truth,
Well,
and
you
but
the
know,
more
I do want to bring in the point though, like our people have dealt with a lot of trauma, and I mean I think we know this,
Yeah.
but we also have to understand the results of trauma. What are the consequences of trauma on our communities? What's the consequences of trauma on the people that are in our communities, right? And I even think about it. I've just left Milwaukee, and in Milwaukee they got a huge problem with lead being in the water, right? And so, and lead being in the houses. So this lead testing happened all over. Lead causes cognitive disorders. And so, with these cognitive disorders, now these people are in society with everybody else, dealing with this cognitive disorder without any help from the people who caused the harm, right? Or without any recompense coming from the people who have caused the harm. So, this is what we have in our society right now, and we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So I always like, first is God first always, but it's like it's a level of just having to pray for people that comes in. I know thoughts and prayers don't go nowhere, but also being able to putting ourselves in position to make sure that we are offering resources and helping people as well too along the way, because that's what we're dealing with. And we can look at, you could say the most dumb ignorant thing, you could share the most dumb ignorant thing, you could put on a MAGA hat like it ain't nothing. But are you cognitively able to differentiate between someone manipulating you and you being free will and you making your own choices? And that's what,
bro. I think what you just hit on though even goes to another level. Like when you literally just talking from a political standpoint, what does that have to do with us? Everything. When you think about the fact that when you talk about the environmental impact, we're literally experiencing an environmental crisis in real time. Nigga, I woke up this morning. It was motherfucking wear a hoodie weather. I came outside at noon and was sweating today. I'm talking about with the same
like
shit
that in DC.
Bro,
Hey, DC has been wild.
DC was 85 degrees.
It was a record high in Philly this weekend when we were up there. It ain't never been that high in Philly before.
Hey,
as
bro,
it was this weekend.
it hasn't snowed.
77, 80 degrees.
It hasn't snowed up in DC, bro, in like 2 years, bro. And like we usually get at least like one little snow. Ain't really getting no big snowstorms, man. And like, wow, don't get me wrong though, I ain't really the biggest fan of a snowstorm. People think it's cool or whatever, but it's really not. But from a climate perspective, though, the fact that we ain't getting any, kind of snow, it's like it's kind of alarming, bro.
But who's impacted most by that though? Who's impacted more than us? Who's impacted more than po folk and black folk when it comes to the environmental issues? All the way down to where you from, Louisiana and Cancer Alley, to Alabama and Union City, to up in Baltimore. We met some brothers when we was at Morgan State talking about they was experiencing the same thing we was just damn near experiencing in Jackson.
And the thing is too, though, I find it, sometimes I'll be like, bro, like they be having these dumb moments in like politics sometimes. Like the other day when the Biden administration was like, yo, we going for zero lead pipes by like whatever, right? There's like this mandate or something that came that was was actually handed down by the Biden administration. But I was like, bro, like we just came up with that great idea. But they
didn't just come up with that great idea because they've changed the lead pipes in their communities.
Oh, I know.
They ain't got lead pipes in their communities, so that means they understood the problem a long time ago and fixed it in their communities and left it broken in ours.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying though is that like I just feel like we've had all these presidents and progressive presidents, Democratic presidents, whatever presidents, and I just feel like we didn't talked about lead pipe, dog, for so long, and this is the first time that a presidency was like, hey y'all, let's go ahead and get rid of these lead pipes, bro. Let's once and for all. And I'm like, bro, like
in lead piping.
I'm trying to think. So I'm gonna go through the
stupid. Just stupid.
Hey Matt, what it looked like you about to jump in on something, man.
Well, I was just listening. We were talking about the difference, like you were saying about lead piping and environmental work, right? So just like right now, we are dealing with the climate change that we see in real time, but it always affects the people that have the less because you have the less capacity to do something about your situation. So when the storm hits, you don't have generators, right? You don't have certain options. You are the folks that have to go to work in whatever climate and whatever situation is going on, and you get paid the less. It's all about a control situation and about, again, back to the have and the have-nots. But it also, we're dealing with folks, and I've dealt with this, and I'm quite sure CJ and Chuck has. When you go to the doctor with your family member and their illness is progressing, and they tell you things like, oh, the best thing that can happen to them is they just slip away into sleep. They have a different belief system. Right. So they think if I live to 65, I'm doing great. Right. They don't plan to live to 95. They think when COVID first hit, they think the greatest sacrifice, if I got to sacrifice my life to go out and spend money to boost the economy. I'm like, what? That's the belief that they had. So when you got the folks that have a belief and an ideology like that, that's controlling the move of everybody, then it puts you in a position where it forces you to do stuff like that because they do it to themselves. They make those sacrifices. You drank bleach because somebody that has goddamn orange hair said that it cures COVID.
Right.
And they had to do they had to tell grown ass folks that with a bottle that said do not ingest.
Well, let me tell you
don't drink bleach.
Ask me who wasn't gonna tell them not to drink it. Go.
Oh,
March 14, nigga.
Is the laptop wet?
We over here had a little malfunction. Hold on. Hold on.
How many
rolling.
beers y'all
keep rolling. We live though, but keep rolling.
I think you just the sound ain't going on no more, bro.
I'm just go.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh shit.
All right, we gonna let them we gonna put y'all on Front Street. It's mean. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
We'll be right back.
Now look, I was thinking about something.
Yeah, zoomed in on
Yeah, I zoomed in on y'all on the cleanup.
Get another paper towel.
Hey, oh, you got
it. I was thinking about some of the people that I think Rillo and Tyson mentioned in terms of like these gateways.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want us to and we got some more comments out there, and I don't want us to forget about those
for sure.
But
you said like, gateways or gatekeepers, Chuck?
Gateways, well, they're those are two different things, because see, here's what's happening. A lot of folks will go on these shows and say things because they know that they're the audience that they have, for instance, like a Breakfast Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go on a Breakfast Club and then you say something, and now not only did it hit every radio station in the morning when, you know, the majority of a particular demographic of our community is listening,
mm-hmm.
then it's gonna hit social.
Yeah.
All right. And then you're gonna run the circuit, because if you're gonna hit the Breakfast Club, now you're gonna hit Earn Your Leisure.
Well, they're trying to get aggregated.
Right.
But at what cost, though?
At what cost?
Like the cost of aggregation is the spread of misinformation to a degree that some people ain't looking for the context of what was said in the framework in which it was said, and whether or not it's actually true or not. Most people ain't fact checking shit. Niggas be talking about they did research on motherfucking Google. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm a whole ass lawyer. Been one for
on Instagram. That's what they did. They research.
Dog, I've been a lawyer for 17 years. It was niggas mad at me because I told them Tory Lanez was going to jail. I'm like, bro, I don't want all my trials. Dog, I'm telling you, from know the law
from a learned perspective.
I'm telling you that if I was representing this nigga was going to jail. I'm not telling you this because I don't like him. I don't like what he did. But ultimately, but it was people who Megan Thee Stallion had got shot in her motherfucking foot. You could see the video of her bleeding out her foot. A doctor testified, I pulled bullet fragments out of her foot. 3 motherfucking witnesses said, I saw him shoot a gun. I saw him shoot at her. And she herself said, I thought he shot me.
He shot me.
And people still didn't believe it. And so when you contemplate that, when you consider that, then you begin to understand how easy it is to manipulate the population of people who either are vulnerable or who actually want to be manipulated. They want to be convinced that
what they believe is
it's easier to believe that.
And another thing too is, like, I think sometimes if you think about this from a data point perspective, is like if you hear like one time on a smaller like platform, right? And maybe one of your homies said it, another kind of somebody random said it over here, and then finally you hear somebody like a Candace Owens, but they're on the Breakfast Club, which is a community validator. It's almost like people not really going, oh, they're not looking at it as the Breakfast Club. They just want to kind of have a conversation, right? Like the Breakfast Club is coming at it from just a journalistic perspective. But what people who actually listen to these folk and listen to these gateway influences, to use the terminology, is that they're looking at it as a validator. So it's not just news. I'm going to get my truth. And so when you let these folk on your platform, you're further validating.
That's the point I wanted to make, Rillo. Keep going right there. Like, why are we letting them on there?
You letting these folks because the thing is, you letting them on it because you want clicks too.
That's right.
And it's like because we live in a very like clickbaity, salacious society, and like all these type of hit sales, then we get the bought version of people. Right, and now here come the bots, because you didn't gave these folk, like you didn't gave them energy around
the highest rating. And I don't know statistics on it, so I'm just saying this off some general thought, but talk radio specifically, like your Alex Jones and your who is the other one? Some of the shock jocks and all the rest of them out there that just a couple of years ago they were getting taken down and getting sued. What they did was proliferate that idea and thought, and now it's over here on social media. And now anybody
bunch of other people
is saying a whole bunch of. I mean, this man gonna sit there and say that these school shootings didn't happen. These parents have grieved the death of their children, and these communities have been impacted on such a
people were attacking parents, bro.
And now you're gonna tell somebody that's a lie and it's a conspiracy, blah blah blah. And so this is happening now with everything we see. So even when we come with the truth, even right now, there is somebody out there that's going to look at the things that we're saying right now and saying we're bots, and they're going to say that we're bots. They're going to say that we're lost, we're sheep, we don't get this, and that's because it doesn't.
Look at Matt. Matt, what you say, Matt?
Bro, Tyson, I was arguing, bro. 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever the hurricanes happened in Orlando or Florida, Tampa, when those hurricanes were happening, bro, in Milton, niggas was arguing with me that the government was using a weapon to create hurricanes, 200 mile per hour winds, dog. Do you understand that? Do you understand how ridiculous it sounds? Like the eye of a hurricane. The eye of a hurricane is 2 points.
Wait a minute, CJ. It ain't too ridiculous. Let me tell you why. At Nissan, they got a cannon that they fire to make sure that it doesn't rain and hail. They got a system that they use to try to protect the cars.
I ain't talking about that, man.
But I'm just saying. Man has been manipulating the weather for a long fucking time.
That's understandable, but weather manipulation and human
experimentation,
creating a hurricane for
they say you created it intentionally. So that's what I'm saying. That's shit happens.
People saw clouds and shit like that. I ain't talking about salting no clouds, nigga. I'm talking about a hidden nuclear weapon that nobody knows or sees that motherfucking creates hurricanes. Is what niggas was talking to me about. And I'm telling you, Mac, that shit is not the same thing. I think niggas should leave meteorology to meteorologists or take their ass to school to be one.
Say that again, CJ.
Hey, that boy said that hell of a
Let's take this question from Sierra, our sister Sierra. She says, do you think there's credence on Barack Obama's spanking the hands of black men, getting on them in terms of the reason?
Nah, bro. Dog.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
But y'all can get into it for it first, because I just talked, and then I'll jump back in when y'all.
I mean, I'm gonna just flat out say like that's just displaced. I think that like to have the idea that black men need to shoulder the burden of the entire election, knowing that the super majority of black men show up every election cycle for the Democratic Party, and to come back around and being like, hey, and also on some misogyny noir type deal, plant that seed. So now it's like now we got Obama caught up in the foolery, because make no mistake about it, he's hearing it too. So he's thinking like, well, I didn't heard it enough, so it must be true. Meanwhile, though, black men out here showing up for black women every single day, right? We allowing the loud minority to dictate the actual silent majority of people doing the work in our communities. And like for Barack Obama to come up there respectfully and say that, I would say that like, Barack Obama, you're a goddamn fool, bro.
You should have sat your ass down.
I'm gonna tell y'all this and see.
It just wasn't your place.
Sorry, Tyson might have. Were you about to say something to you?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I agree. One, it was tone deaf. It was
tone deaf. Yeah,
it wasn't the right. Say it wasn't the right time or space or whatever to say what he had to say in that moment. But I do believe that there is a certain level, and I mean, here's the thing: if we're talking intimately amongst ourselves and we're talking one-on-one to each other without outside gaze, with outside ears, and without a camera there to display it for the world, that's a different conversation. And I do think we do need to have some accountability conversations within our own community. When we do have brothers out there that are disrespecting Black women, that are coming at this from a standpoint, because when I ask questions with Black men who are saying all the rest of the stuff, really get down to the bottom of it, you got a problem with Black women. So you can make up all the rest of this stuff that you're talking about, but you got a problem with Black women. And I can't stand them kind of dudes. I can't stand them. Cowards. If you got an issue with Black women, you got an issue with me. That's how I feel about it. But so when I think there has to be some conversation about accountability, but I think Barack Obama chose the wrong time, the wrong platform, the wrong whatever to do that. That's a one-on-one conversation you have with somebody. You pull them aside. You don't lecture all the Black men at one time, because we're not all together on that.
I'm gonna take a different perspective on this, which kind of lends itself to Unbot and Unbought in some ways. I don't believe that we got the full context of what Barack Obama was doing during that conversation. I don't think he actually was attempting to patronize the particular men that he was talking to. I think we got the clips of the conversation, and that was the way that it was framed. I think he was having a conversation more deeply with those particular guys that he was talking to about the fact that this is what is being said, or this is how it is being characterized or framed. But that they know that isn't true, because conservatives, Republicans currently want people to believe that that this is happening, that more Black men are embracing conservatism or
Black
embracing
manosphere.
right. I mean, I think they're that, like y'all, one of y'all said the loud majority, like the loud minority is the truth. Like,
Yeah,
there's a small percentage. We know for a fact.
ABs and the Le'Veon Bells and the Amber Roses and the Candace Owens and what's buddy name?
These are influencers.
Yeah, these influencers, bro. These not they real people, but they not real people like in communities.
Bro, I saw that nigga. We saw Antonio Brown motherfucking ass at the Congressional Black Caucus rapping that funky ass song just a month ago, and the nigga was on the stage at Trump's rally 2 days ago. So I just want to put it out there. He was rapping the foot Tyson. Am I lying, bro?
Got that shit on.
Put that shit on. That nigga was rapping at the Congressional Black Caucus. So the Congressional Black Caucus are providing him a platform. Gave that nigga a platform. Gave that nigga a platform, and that nigga jumped right on Trump platform the next month. So I mean, these niggas is unserious. These some unserious niggas, dog.
You know, also unserious. You know what's crazy is to this day, dog. To this day, bro. I don't know how Diamond and Silk became an authority for like Black people, bro, in this conservative kind of like vibe.
But I knew the motherfucker wasn't worth a damn when I saw them wigs.
I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you, bro. I'm like, bro, you. How we following that, dog? Like,
get y'all kicked off YouTube.
Like we allow them to get millions of followers, bro. Like, that's crazy, dog. Like, it just can't be that can't be right, bro. Like, come on, Diamond.
Look, man. If I don't trust your wig, I ain't trusting your ass. How about that?
We didn't give them millions of dollars. They will go in. This is the ballpark. Yeah. I mean,
no, they had to do a GoFundMe for. I think one of them died. I think they had to do a GoFundMe.
What?
Oh, for real?
Do a GoFundMe for. I don't know if it was Diamond or Silk, but one of them. I'm sorry. I was about to be insensitive.
I was about to say a joke.
Somebody
I was about to say, I guess diamonds don't last forever, but then that would have been a bad joke because I want to make.
But you did the joke. Hey, but you literally just said the joke.
I was gonna say it. I was gonna set it up differently. I was gonna.
They all been gone. Whole show going off.
Camera on. Now come back.
I was gonna
come back, man.
I was gonna set it up differently, man. I feel like,
oh my God, bro! But I'm saying though, you had
we got niggas,
you had Black people believing that COVID wouldn't kill their ass. Like Herman Cain. Herman Cain ass.
Now he gone to glory.
I'm talking about that nigga.
Hey, now that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy, bro. Cause it almost like didn't age well at all, bro. I remember like literally a tweet came out one day, he was on an interview.
He was
It was
gone.
an interview. And then literally like a month later, it was like, man, Herman Cain dead. I'm like, damn, boy. I was like,
for real?
He was sitting at the RNC or whatever that was.
RNC. It was the RNC.
Yeah, he was sitting there, proud Republican.
Sitting there and speaking. I think he spoke at the RNC.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And look, once
and that
again,
nigga ain't saying shit since.
Loud and wrong.
So look, man, we coming up on the hour, and we've gone around the horn in terms of topics and some of the misinformation, some of the outlets that are being co-opted, and we're not shaming anybody. All we're doing is we're just telling the truth, and that's what Unbot and Unbought is about. It's like, if you're gonna tell the truth in a way that has nothing to do with who's lining your pockets, and tell the truth in a way that people can find what you say, and at the very least, man, give somebody a source to go and look up. Like if you're saying something, give somebody a source.
Yeah.
And point them in a direction so that they can form their own opinions. And I think we're gonna find that when we hit the road and we start going to these different places, that there are specifically Black men out there that have informed opinions, and based on their lived experience and the research that they do, they are making decisions that not only benefit them but benefit their greater community.
That's a good question right here. Ciora asked.
Let's see what you got. So essentially, the belief is that the very loud and vocal stance of Black women will take this country down, just like Black families, is largely held by a minority of Black men. Okay, if that is in fact the case, what are the biggest issues that make the Black man's vote one of the most sought after aspects in this election? Go ahead.
I think this is
issue. I think it's divisiveness. I think this is a divide and conquer. I think that I think Black men, we've been talking to Black men, and at the core, community and our children was what we heard from Black men, right? Like violence, right? We want to get us off our streets. It was education, community, and doing the about face to hurting one another. That's what Black men cared about, right? Deeply. And so when you even mental health, right? So you can add mental health to the conversation. So when we talked about in terms of environmental justice issues, mental health issues, like what the bots are doing and the bot are doing is this misleading bullshit divisiveness campaign that is like becoming the status quo. So what they selling you is the idea that that's actually a question to be had, when in reality the question is, why are we pinning Black men against Black women? And the more we talk about it, the more it gets fed. And then this idea of the loud minority, the small pocket of people that believe, I'm gonna take this from the actual Honest Impact report, is Black manosphere, which is actually very hyper toxic masculine people, Black men that are perpetuating this divisiveness. And so yes, it's to some degree, but I believe that if we got 85% to 90% Black men on board, right, like for the community, then we can't allow the 10% to have to keep talking about this same talking. It's conservative talking.
And that's the thing is, as you said, Rillo, Ciora, it is true. It is very loud and very vocal, but it's very loud and very vocal because a platform has been provided to it.
They put an amp on their speaker.
Right, exactly. In the form of giving them access to podcasts and giving them access to influencers. And those are the people that are amplifying that particular message. But the reality is, the reason that the black vote, the Black male vote in particular, is so important is because it's likely that Kamala Harris will have more popular votes in this election than Donald Trump. Like at the end of the election, she may have more popular votes, but this shit is still going to come down to the Electoral College, which means that they have to identify where those votes are going to come from, because it's going to be a very tight race in the states that essentially the states that matter. It's about 5 or 6 states that really are going to determine this whole election.
Right.
That's just the truth of it. And understanding that means that we got to win. Democrats are looking at it and saying we got to win. Well, we got 80% of the black vote. We trying to move that up to 85 to 87%. And the Republicans are saying, well, we of the black male vote, and or 3 or 4%, and we trying to get 2 or 3 more percent of the black female vote, black woman vote. And the alternative, they're saying the Republicans are saying we trying to get about 5 to 7% in some kind of way of the black vote the other way. And so the numbers game is really coming down to
30,000 votes in the state, dog. We're talking about
right, like that's how much they won
votes.
by in Pennsylvania last year. Like, I mean, last election.
Yeah,
it came down to Philadelphia, it came down to Detroit, it came down to Milwaukee, it came down to Las Vegas, it came down to Phoenix.
And really in those surrounding suburbs, right? So we're talking about, you know, the Savannah, Georgia of the world, the Marietta, whatever. Like, I mean, these pockets, like literally when they got counties are comprised of like 2,000 folk or whatever it is, right? Or little bitty towns and cities. Those little like 1,000 votes here, 1,000 votes there, they end up people. That's why when people say your vote doesn't matter, they really want you to intrinsically believe and hold on to that your vote doesn't matter. And I know we heard it before, but if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't try to suppress your vote at every corner. Case in point, right now in Georgia, you can't even get a ride within a mile to the polls. If you stand in a long line, you can't even get out after a certain cutoff time. You get out and you no longer can vote. Like they literally are trying to find every single way to make sure that you are at least uncomfortable and impede. And then when you think about what happened in Florida, especially in parts of Georgia, especially in North Carolina and South Carolina, where some people right now are reporting that y'all talking about voting and I don't have a home to live in. Like, where is that relief at? And so we're trying to help folks.
What's your zip code if I don't have a home to live in?
Like it legitimately, like this is happening in real time, man. And like people talking about like this election, dog. Like people facing real issues right now. And you know, I just hope that, you know, I really pray that regardless of what you're going through, like you can find it in yourself. You know what I mean? If not for you, for community, to just exercise that right to vote. Because I promise you, like help is on the way. But I do believe that being registered to vote, while it's the first step and voting is the next step, the real work is accountability. And I think that about the accountability piece is I would rather somebody that's willing to speak to me and I'm kind of on the fence about than elect someone that I know that will never listen to me a day and won't even give me the time of day. And I think that what we're fighting with here is regression versus progress. And if you can identify what progress truly looks like, it'll point you in a direction that truly makes sense for like forwardness. Now, granted, you ain't gonna get everything, but we still moving forward. And I think that that's really the baseline here. And all politics is local, folks, man. Get involved on local level. People say this all the time, but it's the goddamn truth. It's the truth. So,
well, look, we got Unbot and Unbought dropping first episode tomorrow. Mañana. So in addition to the pod, we will also be podding in cities. So there'll be a virtual introduction of the podcast, but we will be podding in cities. I think Grillo and TY are going to do some work behind the scenes to show up what those cities are going to look like. So make sure you stay tuned to Black Widow Chasers social media platforms. We got some articles that will be dropping from the website, and of course, always tap in here with us every Tuesday night at Nightcap Knowledge. Matt, you got anything before I pitch to CJ?
No, man. What we doing this weekend, Tri-County area, Mississippi Move, going to be getting folks to the polls for absentee voting, especially highlighting our senior citizens. So you're in Rankin, Madison, Hinds County. We have a few drivers working on a couple more dispatchers and drivers, but we are working, right? We know this is serious. We can say that it's serious till we blue in the face. What plan are we going to put in place to help make sure that we can make a difference. So we're going to be dropping it next week. We're going to go into more details about what we are doing all the way up to election day, even with the election watch party and numbers you can call. So stay tuned to Mississippi Move, and we'll be ready.
Really quickly, y'all. One thing you can definitely do to help ensure that Black men are getting information is when Unbot and Unbought drops, share it. Share it with your community. Share it with people. Make sure that they get it out there. Tag somebody to it. Let them know it exists, because we are going to be dropping facts, straight facts, including directly from Black men themselves that we are meeting and connecting with in communities around the country who are speaking and talking for themselves rather than having people speak for them. And that's the way you get to the for real truth about where we stand in this election. And so with that being said, man, y'all make sure to tap in. Y'all make sure to share this shit. And no matter who you are, please rock with us as we go on this journey. And thank you, Mississippi Move, for what y'all are doing and what y'all have been doing for over a decade now. And for allowing us the Nightcap Knowledge platform to introduce this to the world.
Decade, 20 years,
2 decades.
Come on, put some spec on Mississippi Move.
Decades, baby. Hey, listen.
And look, we're gonna get to where the money reside, baby. Come on.
Hey.
And
we unbought.
Yeah. One time for your wine, 2 times for your drinks, man. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you got a voter's plan. It's almost election day. Remind somebody to get their stuff together. Shout out to Mr. Mac for that Spécial Le Potier Cognac. We'll see y'all next week. Each and every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. at Cap Knowledge. Peace out. What a money reside.